Welcome to Encore News. Today we are going to be talking about land dispute, property dispute. These type of disputes have been going on since the beginning of time, dating back to Israel, where different cultures have been fighting over land, and they're still fighting today and trying to come to a peace agreement. And it's about land, mostly anyway. Who owns what part of land? The United States has been fighting over land for years, and this country was founded on land, finding land, and having that freedom of the land. And when we came over from England over to America, we took the land from the American Indians, the Native Americans, and we took it from them, and we ended up giving it back to them. But the point being is people have been fighting over land for thousands of years. And it's happening right here in the Portland market, in Oregon, and all across the United States. I can give you an example of something I've been through. I have a piece of property, and we divide the land, and we had a survey done, and come to find out that the neighbor had 6 feet of fence on our side of the property. And when you have this kind of dispute, you have to prove facts. How long has the fence been there? Did the previous neighbor purposely do this? And in this case, there's a retaining wall. It's a rock retaining wall about 4 feet high, and it's very obvious that that rock retaining wall has been there for 50 years or more. However, the neighbor decided to build a fence 6 feet on my property. And when you're dealing with that, you have to go through the court system to prove what land is yours. And this is real crucial when you're dealing with real estate, development, things of that sort. You have to get a good survey, make sure your preliminary title report's done correctly, make sure you have your markers set on your property, and make sure what property is truly yours. And do your best to work with your neighbors and come to an agreement that maybe you have to come to a settlement, maybe you have to give them a little bit of money, because going through the court system can cost tens of thousands of dollars. It can take lots of time. It can take 6 months, 12 months. And it's always better to settle things outside of court, period. Because as we know, only the attorneys will actually win in a case like that. Because the attorneys are the ones that are making $200, $300, $400 an hour, and they're billing you and they're billing the other party. So make sure when you're buying a piece of property to see where your land is, look at your preliminary title report, watch out for the surveying, and if there's any issues or disputes, contact a good attorney that can help you with that. And there's also something called eminent domain, and that's where the government can come in and say, hey, you need to sell your property to us because we're going to put a max line through here, or we are going to be running a freeway through here, etc. And they've put in some better guidelines in the recent years to help protect your interest in the property. But these are all types of things when you're buying property, getting ready to sell property, you want to make sure you know what land is yours. Because here in America and across the world, we're still fighting over land. And you just need to make sure you protect yourself. So when it comes to land, make sure you check everything. Everything. Validate everything. Work with a good attorney, work with a good escrow officer, and make sure you know what's yours. And try to come to a settlement, always with any party if you can. And if not, then you have to go in full force. So, with property land disputes, they are here to stay. They've been here since the beginning of time. Just beware when you're buying something, and I just keep repeating myself, but when you're buying something, you really need to make sure that you know what is yours and what protection you have.